It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
It's set. 19, 24.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check out read.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
On first down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down. James Bradbury there to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. That would complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Switch. White. Hey, gun.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 6-yard line.
Here we go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12.
13. Tighten up.
Gordon. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
65. Hey, exit. Exit, go.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 89 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 12, Watson forced out to his left. He'll run it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
11. I got you.
To throw is Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right sideline, that's complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now Gordon on first down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Here we go. 180!
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
13, 21. Here we go.
We got three down. Hey, switch gears.
Protein, spill, and alpha. 6.
57 to Mike.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He gets it to Brown, complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
12.
58 to Mike.
5.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. And now it's third down.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Mike 54. And I'm coming after you.
Hey, Orbit.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky?
Oh, Chubb fumbled it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Hey, gun.
They run it here with Gordon. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Let's go, defense.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
He's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Mike 54. I got him. Mike 54. Mike 54.
White.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Check 26, check 26.
Twenty-one.
6-6, pull it high.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Watch the block, motion, block. 29. Here we go. 9 o'clock.
Watson. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. Touchdown, Vikings! Michael Gallup, 57 yards. As they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
Let's go.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big...
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series, but the biggest one of all... Do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Out of the gun, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right... At the 15.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Check 52.
11.
Running right, it's a handoff to Gordon. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
I got shoot this side. We got 3. I got 11. Watch tight end.
12.
Check 99.
Garoppolo now. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 9-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The final shot before the break. Watson going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
Let's go, baby.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Gordon. Room here to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Corral him. He fights through. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Wide, get wide.
21.
Kill. Check 31.
Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll run on first down. It's Gordon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Strip that ball.
Two.
Watch the slant.
Garoppolo. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine.
I got you.
You're all mine.
11.
Mike. Time to go. Night.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for first and 10. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Dancing to his left. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. He's going to let this one go deep. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Under crush.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Check 9. Check 9. He's coming. Double up. Double up.
12, fellas. Here we go.
1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180.
54. Mike, 54. Let him know. Let him know. Let him.
11.
Save.
The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Lock.
3 bucks. Check 24. Check 24.
From just shy of midfield, Garoppolo. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. The Saints on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be third and 5.
Don't be scared. Wahoo!
57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Hey, that QB's trapped.
Now Garoppolo. And it's complete. Henry. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Garoppolo, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Here we go. Black 80. Hey, alert.
458's the Mike. Hey, that's
Now on second and 13. Garoppolo got Gordon open, completes it. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
He's checking credit.
Second down, McKinnon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Watch the run.
On first down, Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 30-yard line.
Here we go. 180!
Check, 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 check.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
57 to Mike. 57.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo going for it all. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Set. 19, 53, 54.
Watson on first down. He's got his man. This is Tate. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Watson now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On 1st and 10, Watson. He finds McKinnon, complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He completes it to Tate. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
To throw again, Watson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead? And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brent.